On today's show, we're going through a Dynasty startup mock draft. We're not looking at rookies. We want to wait to see what landing spots they get to. But there's a lot of veterans that we're going to look at. Some are going to change in value, some are not. We want to look at those guys, see where they are now before the draft, and then we'll look at revisit it after the draft. If you are joining a Dynasty League, this is a must watch episode. We'll help you navigate your drafts right now, and then we'll do it again in the future. So, without further ado, here we go.
Welcome to the Heroes of Fantasy Football Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Heroes of Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host this evening, Matt High, joined by Chris Felice and Joe Capozzi. We got an awesome episode today. For everyone doing Dynasty startups, this is an episode you definitely do not want to miss. We are going to do a 15-round Dynasty startup Superflex mock draft. No rookies in this one. We're not touching those yet. Wait until we have landing spots. This is going to change. There's going to be rookies slotted in with the quarterbacks, the running backs, especially. I feel like there's going to be a few that creep their way into the top 4 rounds of drafts this season. So, gentlemen, we're just going to get right up and going. I am drafting from the 5 slot. Chris is at 7, and Joe, you are at the 110. Before we get started, want to just shout out everyone that has subscribed and is watching the video. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. There's still time to enter that contest. We have 2 weeks before the NFL draft. That is where we will announce 2 winners of our contest we're running. It is going. Yeah, I know it's coming up. It's going to be great.
It's crazy.
It's almost here. It's almost here. But we're selecting 2 people to win a full Dynasty roster review that goes over everything: your strengths, your weaknesses, what we think you should do in your rookie draft, what trade ideas you might want to take a look at. All you need to do to enter that is go into any of our videos from the very beginning to now. Just comment your best team name idea. Could be funny, could be serious, could be whatever you want. I've already got a couple entries, so do not miss out. All right, gentlemen, let us begin. We are going to start the draft. We are doing this on Sleeper. All right, let's go. Okay, so whoa, we're already starting with fire here. Team 1 coming out hot. We got Jane Daniels at the 101, Josh Allen at the 102, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I am here, and I'm going to say thank you very much, and I'm actually going to do something. I don't think you guys know what I'm going to do.
Brock Bowers? I was about to say Brock Bowers.
No, he's later. I'm going to take Joe Burrow. He just got his number 1 wide receiver and his number 2 wide receiver locked up for years to come. This offense still has a bad defense. What does that mean? Joe Burrow is going to sling that rock as much as possible because he's going to have to catch up. So Joe Burrow is going to be my selection here. Team 6 went Lamar Jackson, and Chris, you're up on the clock.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Out of all the players here, a part of me wants to pick up a running back or wide receiver here, but I think I'll do the safe option here. Leave that stuff for later on, and I think Jalen Hurts is just the obvious pick in this scenario. I'll let one of the AIs pick up Brock Bowers. We'll see how long he lasts. Oh, hell, next pick.
And then Bijan Robinson. Joe, I do hear Rob Gronkowski could be making a return. Is this where you're selecting him in this draft?
Absolutely. Slamming Gronk.
Such
here.
a value.
Finally.
Patrick Mahomes is here. Doesn't excite me too much. I'm not a huge Patrick Mahomes truther. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but I think I'm just going to go with this solid, especially in a dynasty startup, solid years to come stud pick. I'm going with Malik Neighbors.
I like that pick. Then it was Patrick Mahomes, and to end the first round was Amon-Ra St. Brown. Brian Thomas Jr. starts up the second, followed by Jahmyr Gibbs. Joe's back up on the clock.
I feel like I don't want to wait for a quarterback another round because I feel like a lot of these guys are going to go. We got Herbert, Caleb, Drake's there, CJ Stroud, but I'm gonna reach a little bit. I'm gonna grab Bo Nix.
I had a feeling you were gonna do that.
I think he looks really good. and he's young. You're gonna have him for multiple seasons.
Broncos country, let's ride. All right. After that pick was CeeDee Lamb and Nico Collins. Chris, who we got?
Is it a question? Is it really a question?
I just saw who's the next up on the
He's
queue.
right
It's not a
there.
question.
He's my guy, the man, the myth, the Nakua
Yeah.
will join my arsenal.
Yeah, anyone that has followed the podcast should have already guessed that before this draft even started, one of Chris's targets. All right, so I have a couple options here. There is Justin Herbert staring me in the face. I'm definitely not getting him if I don't get him here. Trey McBride, who just got locked up to a very long-term deal, the highest paid tight end in football. Caleb Williams, who should be in a good spot for a breakout this year. And then my boy, I think I got to go with him, CJ Stroud. I think he's going to have a huge bounce back year. Last season, his wide receiver room was just decimated by injury. And, they brought in Christian Kirk. They have Nico Collins. I think they're going to make some moves in the NFL draft this year and equip him with the right weapons, work on the offensive line. So I'm going to make that selection, as tempting as it is to go Justin Herbert with that offense and the great minds in football with, Greg Roman and everybody. I just think CJ Stroud has a bigger ceiling. So, and he's younger and locked up for more. So, CJ Stroud will be my selection here. So, I started with Joe Burrow and CJ Stroud. So, my quarterbacks are looking pretty good. Caleb Williams goes after that, Justin Herbert, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. to end the second. Third round starts with Saquon, Lad McConkey, Jordan Love, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I would have loved if he fell to me right there, but he did not. So I have a couple options here. I can go running back. I can go wide receiver. The guy staring me in the face right now, Drake London, should be in a decent spot. That's where I'm leaning right now. Get that first wide receiver. Now, the way I build Dynasty rosters is I prioritize quarterback and wide receivers more than the other positions, just because I think their shelf life is a little bit higher. They hold value more. So that's kind of where I try to do. Don't be looking at my Dynasty roster right now because my quarterbacks aren't the best. So kind of fell into that. Thank you, Anthony Richardson, for throwing that down on me. But so I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna make a selection. I think Drake London is in a good position this year. He has a pretty solid quarterback from what we've kind of seen. So I think this is going to be a year where they equip him as well. They're Kirk Cousins is done in Atlanta. He's not going to start. They're going to do as much as they can to help their sophomore quarterback. He only played a couple games and he didn't look terrible. And Drake London's target share was close to like 30% when Michael Penix was on the field. So Drake London, get my wide receiver 1. After that was Devon Achane. Chris, where do we go from here? You go wide receiver, running back, tight end?
Definitely not tight end. Funny though. I kind of wanted Devon Achane, I'll be honest with you. So I'm a little depressed he didn't get to me. I'm not taking Garrett Wilson. AJ Brown is tantalizing. I'll be honest with you. I like AJ Brown a lot. I think he's a fantastic player. My only concern with taking AJ Brown is as much as I don't mind stacking the quarterback and wide receiver, I don't like struggling on bye weeks. I'm missing my top 2 guys and whatnot on those positions. So that's kind of keeping me away. But also, I already have wide receiver in Puka Nacua. So I think my heart of hearts, which is I'm a little scared to pick this pick after last year, but I'm gonna really hope it was a fluke. I'm gonna go Breece Hall here and grab a running back. That's what I'm gonna go here. I feel okay. I feel like he'll easily bounce back. We know what he can do, so I'm gonna go Breece Hall.
But before we move on to Joe's pick here, you guys saw the news that Aaron Glenn is looking at a 3 running back committee in New York? Is that something you think is just coach speak, or do you think that could possibly be it? Because it's Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, who took a lot more work than we all wanted him to last season, and they could bring someone in this year or through. There's not really many free agents left. So is that something you're worried about at all, Joe?
No.
Okay, Chris.
Just two.
Talent's gonna determine that. I think Brees Hall is way more talented than any of the other running backs.
The committee approach is not bad if they go with what I believe they mean by it, by like, if they go 60-20-20 in terms of the share and Brees Hall has the 60 and the other two guys have the 20, that actually benefits Brees Hall. Yes, it means less touches, but it means that it'll be harder for defenses to predict when he'll actually be the guy, right? And it'll mean he'll have infinitely more opportunities for red zone opportunities and getting those touchdowns and breaking away. So I think I don't anticipate them, bringing someone up to like his level in terms of snap percentage. So I think that's what I'm gonna guess is the committee going here, which I think is a smart move.
It should keep him
They're-
fresher, so that way
Pressure,
his when he is on the
longevity-
field, when he
his
is on the field,
longevity
he's
increases
like
by a lot.
12%.
It's great.
Yep. Okay. So after that pick was Rashee Rice and my boy Kyron Williams. Joe, who is the selection at the 310?
It's tough. I'm looking at Garrett Wilson because he's the number one. He's young and he's on a good team. Well, good team. He's set to be the number. I'll have a lot of target share there when I say he's on a good team. And Kyler Murray's there. Could be my second quarterback. He also did an interview. He said he's going to run way more next season, which would be super awesome.
Please, Kyler.
And there's Jonathan Taylor's down there and Bucky, but I think I'm between Garrett and Kyler here. Kind of scrolling down. I think if I don't take Kyler here, I don't think he wraps around.
I don't think so. It's
Probably not.
Kyler, Brock, Baker, Trevor. Those are the next quarterbacks in queue.
Yeah.
In ADP at least. So it's kind of
I'm going Garrett Wilson.
All right. He's gonna gamble.
Oh,
the gamble paid off. All right.
Look at
So
that.
Garrett Wilson went,
Never
then
punished.
Brock Purdy, AJ Brown went to the 312. That's a pretty good value. Jonathan Taylor starts the fourth.
Didn't even
Sam
wait.
Laporta, Joe, no hesitation. Kyler Murray. Trevor Lawrence. Oh man, T. Higgins went. That's who I was targeting.
So
there.
I would like to interject before you go any further. Right, for those of you watching, okay, I would not condone that if you want the quarterback because you're definitely not getting Kyler Murray. I feel like in a regular. Can we all agree that Kyler is probably picked above Brock Purdy? Is that like something that we can all agree upon?
Yes.
Probably.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right.
I would have been just as happy with Brock Purdy.
Not to say that Brock Purdy is bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that if you want Kyler Murray over Brock Purdy in this scenario, do not expect Brock Purdy to go first.
Potential fantasy ceiling is what would lean me towards Kyler because we've seen him have a good ceiling. Brock Purdy he's a really, really good QB2. Really good, solid QB2.
Hmm?
As a QB1, I don't know, but Okay, so Chris, what are we thinking?
So the guy staring me in the face right now is Bucky Irving, and while it's somewhat tantalizing, I've heard some stuff from the Buccaneers camp, and I've done a little bit of my own kind of like look into how I think the season will go for them, and I am not. The bell cow split situation worries me slightly. I think Bucky Irving is a fantastic player, but I worry that the utilization is not going to be there correctly to fully make him a good player, in a fantasy point of view. So because of that, I think I'm going to lock in my my quarterback too, which is oddly reminiscent to a quarterback duo that led me to a fun haha championship. Not really, actually, not at all. Actually, I traded for Baker Mayfield and he's on my team. That was not the quarterback that led me there. But I am taking Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield is fantastic, and I don't see a reason why I can't just solidify my quarterbacks with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I mean Baker as a QB2 in the fourth round of Superflex draft is pretty good. It's good value. After that pick was Josh Jacobs. Now I have a decision to be making right now. I like the wide receivers. Well, I like the running backs that are here. There's a wide receiver I want to get. I don't think if I don't take him now, I don't think I get him. So I'm leaning towards that. But there are a few running backs that I think I'd be okay with. I view them kind of in the same tier of talent. So I'm not gonna play the game that Joe did because I have more picks in between mine. So I know
True.
he's gonna go. Joe had a gamble, but it was a little bit more of a calculated risk. I don't want to risk it, but I still want the biscuit. So I'm gonna select Devontae Smith as my
Oh.
wide receiver 2 because I knew I was not getting him. I'm hoping that one of the running backs I like get here. So after that was
So
Bucky Irving. Hold on, let me do this and then you can.
go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, he came back. Nice. Okay. Bucky Irving, Roma Dunze, JJ McCarthy, and Michael Penix. And the 4th round, starting the 5th, was Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, who was one of those running backs I was looking at, Xavier Worthy, Chris Olave, maybe when he gets a new quarterback. And go ahead, Chris. Let's have a quick
Yeah.
chat, and then I'll make my selection.
Really, really fast. Just want your opinion. So Roma Dunze was obviously higher in the list than DJ Moore. I understand he's 1 year in, decent season. Kind of. We saw the flashes. We can assume that he's going to be a guy. I'm looking at where DJ Moore is. He's like, he's right there. He's on the list there. Thoughts? Should DJ Moore have been picked first before Roma Dunze?
In a dynasty league, I say no. In redraft, yes.
I can't believe Penix went over Bryce Young.
True. True. I didn't even Oh wow! I didn't even realize that.
It's the Panthers. It's the Panthers tax. You know they have no one.
He's played 3 games. I mean, granted, they were like decent games for him, and there's a lot of hype behind them. But like,
see that can kind of go both ways. Yes, he's only played 3 games, but Bryce Young has played a lot more than 3 games, and he's looked terrible in all but probably 3 games. So it's kind of like, maybe. But either way,
Terrible's that's a pretty overreaction, if you ask me.
I mean, my eyeballs kind of watched him.
He's no Anthony Richardson.
No, I mean, he's definitely not. Yeah. Please, Anthony Richardson, just figure it out this year, man. All right. I want to stop with. I want to stop with the abuse on your name.
I know who you're picking. Just take him.
Who am I picking?
You're taking Chase Brown.
Oh yes, you know it, buddy. Chase Brown. I know they're gonna add somebody in the draft this year, but I don't care. Chase Brown is a workhorse. I don't care. They can add whoever they want, and I'll still be okay. If anything, he'll just become a bigger value. Following that pick was Zay Flowers. Chris, you are up at the 507.
So because I grabbed Baker Mayfield earlier, I don't have to really care about these 3 quarterbacks here: Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Bryce Young. They don't matter to me. They're worthless in my eyes. They don't fill a slot on my team to get me more points. You know what I'm saying? I care about points per week. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna forget about them. They don't exist. Okay. They're gone. So now I look at the guys underneath it. Okay. I see DJ Moore, Kenneth Walker, Derrick Henry, and Jordan Addison. And things are getting a little weird here, right? I think the safest player out of the 4 guys I just mentioned is DJ Moore. I say this because Jordan Addison will probably always be behind Justin Jefferson unless he moves to a different team.
And real quick with Jordan Addison, just so people are aware, remember last off season, I think it was speeding or something.
I think it's DUI.
Yeah, I think it was DUI. That's coming back. So pay attention to Jordan Addison. He may miss a few games. It's still, I mean, who knows? It's still kind of just conjecture right now, but it's a possibility. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're in drafts.
Yeah, so there's that. Derrick Henry's obviously old. He's like he's good.
He's younger than us, man. Well, maybe not you. You're
I was gonna say not me. You guys maybe, not me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he'll do good this year, probably the next year as well. He'll be fantastic. But at some point, it's gotta stop. Kenneth Walker, I'm not too confident in terms of the future. And then DJ, like I said, DJ Moore, 7 years in the league, the wide receiver role has like a better lifespan in general. And I believe with the offense hopefully getting better under new leadership, he'll have a revitalized role. So really, my options are between Derrick Henry if I want the really good short term. Derrick Henry is definitely the best player here out of the four guys I mentioned by far, or DJ Moore and get a couple more years on the lifespan. And I think in my once again in my heart of hearts, um, looking at some future players here. I'm gonna go with DJ Moore. I think filling another wide receiver slot, unfortunately, is better than reading for a really good running back here, especially on the older side. I think if it was a two wide receiver league, I'd lean towards Derrick Henry, but I'm just not confident that if I don't pick a wide receiver now, I'll be able to fill out three wide receivers and I'd be confident starting week in, week out.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. I am in my age 34 season. Heading into my age 34 season, he's in his age 31. So, yeah, I can't call him old.
Your
Can't call
age
anybody old.
34 season of life, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep. Yep.
What's your contract at?
Final year of my deal. So, if I it's,
What?
it's how it
I don't
works.
even want to know what you're implying.
All right.
I has to go to death itself and go, all right, let's renegotiate a contract. What are you going to sign me for? Oh, another 50 years? Damn.
I'm gonna sign like the veteran $10 million deal next year. We'll see.
$10 million deal.
Next guy up here was Jared Goff. That's that Team 8's first quarterback. It's a odd strategy in a Superflex, but we will see. Then the young old man, Derrick Henry. Joe, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take even though the court case is coming up, he's still young. He's shown his flashes. I'm grabbing Addison there.
Alrighty. So then it was Brandon Ayuk and Terry McLaurin to end the 5th round. Now we have Dak Prescott starting us off in the 6th and Ken Walker. Joe, you're back up.
So I don't have any running backs yet. I still have a tight end spot open and 2 flex spots for my core roster. So I think I'm gonna. It's tough. I think I'm gonna grab a running back here. I think I'm gonna go with Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba. It's gonna be interesting. Now, this is probably the part of the draft that is either gonna determine if you're going for it this year or if you're rebuilding. Because there's a lot of big names still on the board, but they might be like a little bit at the end of their career. So this is where you're going to find the most value, but it's also going to have the most volatility. So just kind of keep that in mind of longevity, and this will be where you're determining how the rest of your draft goes. So following Chuba went Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson. Thank God he went, so I didn't have to be tempted. Chris, you're up.
So TJ Hawkinson's staring me in the face. And I'm not opposed to it, necessarily speaking. I mean, he's not my favorite option of all time at tight end. Because tight ends suck. But I'm not like super opposed to it. But I think I'm gonna look elsewhere at tight end. I think I'm just okay with kind of not taking one for the time being. So then after that, once again, I got my 2 quarterbacks. Tua, sorry, get out of here. So then I have a couple of things I'm looking at now. So I have the Dolphins duo here, Waddle and Tyreek Hill, which is a very interesting thought to kind of consider. I'm not gonna pick George Pickens. I don't feel like doing that to myself. I also don't feel like picking DK Metcalf because once again I don't feel like doing that to myself. Jamison Williams is an interesting prospect to look at. I of course worry that he won't produce what he did last year because of who's in front of him and how they might morph that offense now that all that personnel has left the Lions. It'll probably run very differently. And they might be more reliant on Amon-Ra St. Brown. So that worries me a bit. And then the next guy I'm really interested in is Joe Mixon, who's once again on the other side, but is good at football. Right, Matt? Hey,
Maybe. He was good last season.
that's what I thought. Moving on. Now that we got that out of the way, and I was right.
You're making it seem like I hated Joe Mixon. I just
You
didn't
did.
like him in fantasy.
Shut up. You did. You hate him.
Last year, I was not a fan. I'll give you that.
So all of that in mind, I'm not like thrilled with everything. I think I'm gonna make a decision that's gonna make you, Matt, very, very happy. Or mad, depending on what you're gonna think about this year. I'm gonna take Jalen Waddle. And I'm gonna tell you why. Okay? I actually think the days for Tyreek Hill are numbered. I truthfully think that.
Well, the
And
news that came
I
out today seems kind of ominous. He's
Mhm.
domestic dispute.
I
Yeah, but
Ah,
there
great,
was
man.
no arrest.
No, but it's still something to monitor. Like, it's still so early. So, but you got to think about these things. But like Joe said, there's no rest, so it could be absolutely nothing. It could just be smoke. But if you're in a draft, that is something you need to determine how likely you are to do it, and are you okay with the potential risk? Sorry, Chris, I cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm just my beyond all that stuff. Last year, kind of showed some of the cracks within Tyreek Hill's game. I think, in my opinion, um, I don't know if it's age, losing a step. Maybe there's some chemistry issues. I don't know.
Bad quarterback play. No
Yeah,
Tua.
a lot of there's a
We
there's a
had
lot
Snoop
of reasons.
Huntley for a little bit.
But all I'm trying to say here is that certain number one wide receivers, when they lose their quarterback go down, still go off. Okay. And it's very, very, apparent. And this one didn't. Now, of course, I'm not saying that the quarterbacks were bad, but they still find a way. We say it time and time again. Your X Factor guy on your team should be able to do it. And he didn't do it. Right? I think we've talked about that many, many a time. So I feel like he might be kind of winding out, and maybe it's time for Jalen Waddle. Anything else? Shut up. Go ahead.
Jalen Waddle is just made of glass. It's like every
So
single
is all of
game.
us.
Every single game. It's not a Miami Dolphins football game if Jalen Waddle does not. If none of us get a notification that he's going to the injury tent to get looked at. It's just part of it. You have to understand that. So follower Jalen Waddle was TJ Hawkinson, which makes me very, very happy because I do not want that tight end. I want another one. I'm taking my only tight end probably for a while. I am selecting George Kittle, who is someone I have had a love-hate relationship with for my entire fantasy career, basically. I gotta get that picture from you, Joe, and I'll post it on our social accounts. I had an issue where he knocked me out of a league. I played against him in 2 leagues the same week, and he had like a 60-something yard touchdown that basically just killed me with a sprained ankle. Nonetheless, so the meme is funny. I will post that. So take a look on our X account, or Joe will
There
just
it
show it. It says this is the
What
ankle
is
that
it?
beat Matt high.
This is the ankle that beat Matt high
Yeah.
It's
So
good.
it's
twice.
yes. It was the
Twice
same play, and I got
amazing.
two chats. It was just like Kittle. I'm like, oh great, yay. Okay, so George Kittle is now joining my team, followed by Tyreek Hill, George Pickens, DK Metcalf, who is now on the Steelers, Jameson Williams. That's an excellent value in my opinion. The end of the 6th round. And then we had Joe Mixon start us off at the 7. Jerry Jeudy, Mark Andrews, Alvin Kamara. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping Kamara was gonna make it, but that's okay. There's another guy here I like, David Montgomery. Welcome to the Colorblind Army. Excellent value, in my opinion. I don't care that Ben Johnson is gone. I don't care that they're going through a bunch of stuff now. It's still the Detroit Lions. They're gonna just run the ball. So, following that was Mike Evans. Chris, you are up at the 707.
Yeah. Obviously choices here are not as exciting. Um as others. I mean, guys, I'm looking at Dalton Kincaid. Not, you know, not the worst option here. I think. Other two options, I got Jaden Reed and Tyrone Tracy. Besides that, I could be funny and pick Travis Etienne like a loser. Like a dumb idiot loser.
As you could tell, Chris does not like Travis Etienne. Just in case. In case it didn't come through.
I don't like him. I did like him, and now I don't like him. But no, I think I'm gonna really I'm gonna solidify this a bit. I took one risk. I'm gonna take another risk. I think part of me wants to take Tyrone Tracy. To kind of solidify my backfield here of running backs, since I have one right now, and that doesn't make me feel really confident. However, I think I can forego that by taking Jaden Reed here. Part of me wants to take Jalen McMillan. I'm sorry, McMillions.
Yeah, I was going to say, get the name right here, man. I mean, come on.
Apologies.
Jalen McMillan doesn't exist. It's
But
Jalen McMillions.
The Chris Godwin staying kind of threw me off a bit.
That threw a lot of people off. I didn't expect that. I thought he was going to go elsewhere.
I'm gonna avoid him in the draft here, and I'm gonna take Jane Reed and balance out the risk of Jalen Waddle.
I like that pick. Jane Reed should be pretty good. After that was Tyrone Tracy, who's currently the only running back on the Giants. Good luck. And Dalton Kincaid, everyone's sad story from last year. Joe, you were up.
No.
Is this it?
No, you're not.
It's his year. It's his season. Kyle Pitts.
He picked Kyle Pitts.
I saw that. I saw that down there before, and I'm like, "That's if it makes it to Joe, that might be his pick." And sure enough, it's his year. All right. After that was Jalen McMillan, David Njoku, Tua Tagovailoa at the 801, Ricky Pearsall 802, and Joe is back up. I don't know how you top Kyle Pitts now. I mean, your draft's over.
I might as well just stop drafting.
Yeah, do you want the trophy now?
Yeah, thank you.
I
do have it already. I'm gonna take him, even though Chris was talking mad smack. I'll take Travis Etienne.
You're a fool. I wanted you to do that. I don't even care. You've fallen for my trap. I wanted Isaiah Pacheco this entire time. So I'm definitely.
He sucks.
Definitely.
That's why I traded him in our league.
That's true. You did.
Joe works in mysterious ways.
I am without a doubt not taking Michael Pittman. He burned me.
I forgot
many times last year. That one,
he's your Kiki QT.
Yeah, Travis Etienne. A rational hate. I'll admit. It was just funny. Michael Pittman, I will not be drafting at all this year. Probably after I drafted him in majority of my leagues, and he did nothing for me. So he's gone. He's a distant memory now. But Isaiah Pacheco, I know there is worry, and I think the worry is warranted. But I know they just re-signed Kareem Hunt. I know they got Elijah Mitchell as well. I think the Kareem Hunt and Elijah Mitchell is insurance. I do not anticipate at all that they are just gonna kind of storm in with Kareem Hunt and Elijah Mitchell over Isaiah Pacheco. So I feel pretty confident in Isaiah Pacheco. I don't think he's gonna be top 10, but if my guy's top 15, I'm happy. I'll take it. So I'm gonna take Isaiah Pacheco and round up my running backs.
All right, so just going to catch up from Joe's pick. Josh Downs, 804, Chris Godwin, then Chris selected Isaiah Pacheco. Cortland Sutton, I'm on the clock. I'm going to have a little bit of fun. I'm not going to take a risk here. The Sleeper wants me to take Sam Darnold. As much as I like him in Seattle, I think he's actually a good fit there. No, thank you. I'm going to push my backup quarterback, QB3 later in the draft. And I am going to select someone that I think still shows signs that he has not lost a step. He is another wide receiver that is now on a different team this season. I'm going to select Devontae Adams. So this kind of confirms I actually really like my team. I think this is where I'm making the decision. I'm going for it this year. So having someone with Devontae Adams' skill set and someone I think has not lost a step. I mean, watching he passes the eyeball test. I don't care that he's old. I think he's a really good fit with Matthew Stafford, and he doesn't have to be the number one target with Puka Nacua alongside him. So I think this is going to be a really good thing with the Rams. Following that was Tucker Kraft, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, DeAndre Swift, whose value is going to take a huge hit this year. So if anyone would like him in my dynasty, in our dynasty league, please, I will send you anything. Trey Benson, Michael Pittman
That's
Jr.,
crazy.
Brian Robinson Jr., and Sam Darnold. I have a few decisions to make here. There's a guy I really, really like, but I don't believe I get him. And I'm looking down, and I don't like anyone else. So this is what we're gonna do. I really want to take a quarterback because I think Justin Fields is going to finally have that year similar to Baker Mayfield that it took him a couple teams to kind of figure things out. I think that's kind of the way we're going to see Justin Fields work. But I'm not going to select him. I'm going to select a guy that I think is going to be the number one running back.
Derek Carr. Oh.
No. I will blow up my team if Derek Carr is on it. I won't even select him if he makes it all the way to it. Now, in a dynasty league, usually you go like 30 rounds deep. We're only doing half that. If I made it to round 30, the very last pick, and he was still there, I still would not take him. I will take Joe Schmo, bench warmer of the century, over Derek Carr. Okay. Clearly, I have issues with Derek Carr. But I'm actually going to select Tony Pollard. Now, I know it's a little bit of a reach in ADP,
Oh.
but I think no matter if it's Cam Ward going to the Titans, I think they're going to need a solid running back. They're going to need a good running game to take some pressure off of a rookie quarterback on what looks like a pretty bad team. So having him as my RB3, I think his volume is going to be there, and he's going to just be necessary. So Tony Pollard is my selection. After that was James Conner and Chris, your backup. You only got two running backs.
I do. I was really hoping James Conner was going to get to me. I'll be honest. I'm a little depressed, but that's okay.
My boy is there. My boy.
Oh, look, it's Zach Charbonnet. Wow. Oh my God, guys, it's Zach Charbonnet. So
Damn you, Pete Carroll, for ruining him for everybody. He was so good. You had to medal and oh god.
So I look at this. I only have two running backs. Zach Charbonnet is right there. I don't trust it at all. And the next guy right there below it is Ramondre Stevenson. I'm also not
Yeah, I'm out.
excited
I'm out on Ramondre. I'm sorry.
about
I'm out.
Ramondre Stevenson. There's a couple other guys here. I mean, Jonnu Smith is funny, but what are the odds he does that again? Right?
I mean,
You know, like what are the
could
actual
be.
odds he does it again?
He could be like the
Um,
best value tight end in draft history.
he could be. He definitely could be. But I am going to not pick him. Instead, I am going to follow your advice. I'm going to take Justin Fields on the New York Jets.
Who I thought you were taking.
Yeah, honestly, same. Not getting James Conner here kind of sucks. There's a lot of guys here that I kind of felt like I wanted to take. Like, for instance, Deebo Samuel kind of looks fun to me. That's a fun frisky
He's
thought
another one I'm
idea.
out on.
Matt Stafford, I think, is probably like the guy that like my gut would maybe go towards. But I'm gonna go like in a dynasty thought process here. I know Baker Mayfield and Jalen Hurts are great, right? And there's a chance I might get a fourth quarterback through this whole kind of process here. So I think I'm okay with picking Justin Fields and just kind of foregoing everything else for now and just hoping that someone on the lower end comes back up to me because there are some guys that I'm looking at that I feel like will come back around.
All right, so then it was Jake Ferguson and Ramondre. Joe, I already know your pick.
Man, I wanted Fields there.
That would have been good value there.
Bummer.
But I know who you're picking, so go ahead and select them.
Do you know who I'm picking?
I do know who you're picking.
I really
I'm
wanted
looking here.
Stevenson too. That also felt bad.
Is he?
All
I
right,
don't see.
all right, you know.
I
Najee.
knew Najee Harris. I knew that
That's
as
so
soon
funny.
as
That's
I was going to
so
mention
funny.
it, but there was a chance I was going to get it
It's a good
back.
flex option.
Oh, 100%. I think it's great value. He goes to the Chargers, and what do they want to do? They want to run the ball. And what does Najee do? Run the ball. I mean, maybe not as efficiently and effectively as he once did, but, shake the rust off and get going. After that pick was Isaiah Likely. Then we had my boy Zach Charbonnet, followed by Cooper Kupp and Xavier Legette.
I'm looking at this list, and quarterbacks are drying up. There's two clear starters left, and after that are just, it
Derek
looks like
Carr.
just all it just looks like backups. I mean, Russell Wilson's there, but who knows what's going to happen with? I assume he's going to start over Jameis, but it doesn't. So, do I want to pick my third quarterback here for my bench? There's not a lot of good players left. I mean, Debo's there, but he's old. He's, uh, this is the part of the draft where it's like, what? Who's gonna fit the team?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just grab Gino.
Alrighty. So after Gino went Jacoby Myers, J.K. Dobbins. Chris, where are we thinking now?
So definitely grabbing a running back here, which is really funny because the best running back here is Tyjae Spears according to this list. That's not true though. If you look down, you actually find two other running backs who are far better than Tyjae Spears. You have Aaron Jones and Rashad White. Now, this is kind of a polarity sort of deal. Rashad
Whoa,
White.
whoa. How can you
Go ahead.
besmirch the name of Tank Bigsby like that? He's right there.
Yeah, but he could be there on my next pick. That's what my projected next pick after this one has me taking Tank Bigsby.
I don't know about that. But
I'm just saying. I'm not thinking about. It's not that like I dislike Tank Bigsby, but I'm not like none of these guys besides one of them am I going. I'm gonna win right now. Like that's my plan. Only one of them is a win now. I think in my opinion, like I'm confident, like I can shove them in there, and I know that based on last year they will produce. You know, a reasonable amount, and that is Aaron Jones. And while it may be a bit of a reach, and I know I don't have a tight end yet, but also tight ends suck. So honestly, who cares? I need the stability at the running back position. I'm going to reach and grab Aaron Jones. Even though I kind of hate it, I feel like I can forego the tight end position because honestly, I feel like the past 2 years. I mean, I grabbed Jonas Smith from waivers in a couple weeks, and he ended up being tight end 4. So in reality, tight end really doesn't matter. So Aaron Jones, welcome to the team.
All right. Then goes Jonnu Smith. And I'm looking here at quarterback because, like Joe said, it is drying up real quick, and I do not want to be stuck with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, because in a Dynasty League, those are one-offs, and they're done. They could be done this year. Who knows? So I'm going to pick another guy who could potentially be done, but I think we'll stick it out a little bit. And I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford to pair with my Devontae Adams if he gets a good matchup in a dome or something. I think he has the potential to go off. So Matthew Stafford, join me on my quest for dominance. Then went Deebo Samuel. We have Tajay Spears, Rashad White, Evan Engram, who I think Evan Engram is an excellent pick this late in drafts. I am going to be very high on him this season. I can already tell. Calvin Ridley, Tank Bigsby, Tank Dell, who probably is not playing a single snap in 2025, and Cade Otton. I got a couple options here,
Derek Carr's right there.
and there he will remain. So I have a couple different things. I really like Juwan Jennings here, but having George Kittle, I don't want to do that to myself, just because I don't typically like to draft two receiving options on the same team. I'll draft the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver on a good team. Like years ago, I had the combo of Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones, and it was fantastic, except for bye weeks, because that was three of my main starters that were no longer able to be used. But in this case, on a team that might not throw the ball as much, I don't want to tie myself to it. I do, however, like this one player, even though he frustrates me beyond belief because of who throws him the football and my love for Chris Olave. For some reason, Derek Carr absolutely adores Rashid Shaheed. So I'm going to select him here as my wide receiver 4, potential flex bye week replacement guy here, just because he has some boom bust weeks. And in this point of the draft, everyone's kind of about the same. I don't really like the running backs here. You know, we got Jalen Warren, Jonathan Brooks. No, thank you. So I feel like with him, it's just the best value at this position. So I'm going to make that selection, Rashid Shaheed. Then Juwan Jennings went right after. And Chris, where are we going with your team?
I've been rewarded. I was greedy, and 3 tight ends have appeared onto my doorstep. One of them, I will not touch, by Travis Kelce. No one likes you. Go retire and be with your rich, incredible, probably more talented than. Yeah.
Can you have one more good season? Like make my first round pick actually worth it that I gave you for Travis Kelce last year? That would be swell.
But yeah, no. So we're gonna ignore Travis Kelce. We don't like him. We'll let him with Taylor Swift keep, I guess, ruining football as they keep showing her on the Megatron every single second of every game that they play. Instead, what we're gonna do is we're going to pick the guy right below Travis Kelce, which is Pat Freiermuth. I think Pat Freiermuth and Cole Kmet are, in all honesty, kind of like similar. Pat Freiermuth has like proven to be more stable. And I don't think there's like too much difference there. So it's kind of a coin flip, in my opinion. So I'll coin flip for the guy who's higher overall, which is Pat Freiermuth. But honestly, I couldn't really go either way. He wanted Jalen Warren. You really wanted Jalen Warren?
You wanted Mims, didn't you?
I
He
wanted
wanted
Warren.
Mims.
Oh, you wanted Warren. Ah.
Yes,
Yeah,
he definitely wanted Warren.
That late for a possible starting running back who's 26 is great.
Yeah.
Now I have to look. I don't want Jonathan Glassbones Brooks.
Derek Carr is right there.
I already have a quarterback. I guess I could take him and trade him to Matt.
You could. He would give up a lot. Not that he's a lot to give.
You would need to pay me to take him.
How much?
A lot.
I'm just curious. Name it. Put a number. I want a number. While he thinks about his pick.
$1 million.
All right. I think we. This is where we're going. I guess
this is where we're going. It's crazy.
It's. I'm not taking this guy either.
There's a.
Stephon Diggs.
Interesting. I mean, he did get paid a lot.
He's a good 1 or 2 year play.
I think 1, but yeah, I agree. Jonathan Brooks went after that. Travis Kelce ends the 11th round. Then we had Darnell Mooney, Javonte Williams, who's now a Cowboy. Joe, you're back up. Derek Carr's still there.
Derek Carr is still there. So is Butterhands Quentin Johnson.
I was about to say Butterhands Quentin
Um,
Johnston.
Got some real all starts here.
Your
RB1,
RB1 from the Rams from
Blake
last year.
Corum. Yep, he's right there.
He is there.
The future of the Giants, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, maybe the Little Giants.
This is tough, man.
This is tough.
This is about the time where we start getting mean about players. So we just start finding nitpicky things on, their game.
I'm going to go with this guy. Because I feel like he's gonna take over eventually.
Eventually,
yeah, when Kyron Williams dies or gets traded. Cole Kmet and Jalen Coker.
Allow me to kind of throw in some insight on what I kind of do now, and this is the same. Yes, actually, no. Definitely not.
I'm just gonna replace your picture in post with just Derek Carr. I'm gonna make that.
At this point in the draft, in redraft or dynasty, in all honesty, I'm looking at a couple of things here. Okay, because these picks are beginning to matter less and less. So now I'm going back to my team. I like to figure out who I have and possibilities of injury, people who usurp their positions, stuff like that. I look here, and then you have to also compare that to the current players that you have. I see only one guy here that I can take that has an opportunity to do that. I don't mind doing the reach because, once again, everything's kind of a reach right now because you're gambling on every single player here. I'm definitely not taking Dallas Goedert. I don't think he's a bad tight end. I just don't want to waste the pick on another tight end when I can get some insurance. So I think the guy I'm going to take is Braylon Allen. I'm going to take the insurance for specifically Breece Hall. That is my thought process. You don't like that pick. Why?
Because that was going to be my pick.
Oh.
That's why.
Funny.
Derek Carr's still there.
Derek Carr's right there.
Yeah, that's fine. He could stay there. I was gonna go running back, but now
don't you have his autograph?
I do.
Yo, Rico Dowdle's right there.
I do. Yeah, no, I'm good. There's a guy here I really want to be a thing. I just don't know if it's gonna happen.
Just do it. Just take him. I know you.
I am tempted. I am tempted to
take
Quentin Johnston.
You're a sadist. You love pain.
We're in the 12th round. All right, so it's okay to make swings like that. It's all right. You're not making this roster based off them. I'm actually going to choose another tight end, someone who I think I really like their tape as a rookie. Heading into their rookie season, I liked what I saw last year. It's just there's a guy ahead of him that has been ahead of a couple guys that have been really good after this dude either gets injured or leaves. So hopefully Zach Ertz catches the injury bug or gets traded or something, because I want this guy to become a thing that I think he can do. Talking about the Senator, Ben Sinnott, I'm going to make him a backup tight end to George Kittle for when George Kittle gets injured. Because now that I have him in mock
Carr's right there.
And there he will stay. It really wants me to take Carr. It's like, dude, you want to do it, but no, I won't. On premise, I will not do it. So after Ben Sinnott went Rashad Bateman, Dallas Goedert, Jatavian Sanders, Christian Kirk, who was someone I was considering before Ben Sinnott, Quentin Johnston, and Cedric Tillman, who's in for a pretty good season, I think. Ray Davis, Isaac Guerendo. I am going to make a selection here. I'm going to get another wide receiver. I think. We see the running back situation here. It ain't great, Bob. Not too good. Ooh. Woof.
Woof. That's crazy.
That's crazy. I feel like I might need to take a running back. I mean, I have Chase Brown, David Montgomery, Tony Pollard. So, yeah, I definitely need a running back.
That room does not make me excited.
No, it's going to be one of those that I'm going to have to end up making a trade in season for a running back. All right, I'm just going to take Jerome Ford. He showed me enough that he could be a decent play. He's not going to win me the league, but he's probably not going to lose me the league.
What about Derek Carr?
He can lose me the league. So Jerome Ford is joining the team. Then Romeo Dobbs. And now we have Chris back up on the clock.
So I did want Romeo Dobbs for obvious reasons because I had Jaden Reed, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. I'm not too concerned about it. So once again, I'm looking back at my team that I have, and I'm looking at the available players here, and I'm realizing to myself there's not a lot of like insurance clauses, as I'll call it, that I can take at the moment. Very very little actually. Uh, so my my thought process is to take a wide receiver. The question is who, because I don't like any of them. Everything sucks. Um,
Pick and pray.
yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna.
Hollywood.
A part of me wants to,
He's
but I'm
there.
gonna. I'm gonna pick Adonai Mitchell, and maybe he'll work out. I don't know.
All
Um,
right. So then we got Rico, Dowdle, Amari Cooper. Wow, what a fall from grace.
Boom.
Troy Franklin is Joe's selection.
And boom.
The Candle
the
Man.
The Candle Man.
The Candle Man.
All right, so we had Troy Franklin, Hollywood Brown, Tyler Algier, Kendra Miller, Wandale Robinson, Dontavian Wicks, the Candleman himself, Keenan Allen, and Marshawn Lloyd. Chris, let's make your selection. We have 2 more picks each.
Yep.
Well, Joe has 1.
So my pick here, although it might be a little surprising, I am going to pick Demario Douglas. I think that there is a decent chance, and by decent I mean higher than everybody else on this list, to maybe be something.
Not a bad thought. I like Demario Douglas. Then it was Christian Watson. I'm going to select just based on my team. I'm
Derek
going
Carr?
to. No way, man. Never.
There.
I will never
there.
take. I will never take him.
He's gaming, bro.
I am going to select Audric Estime. Take the shot that the Broncos are pretty good this season, and they don't really have a good running back anymore. Julio McLaughlin is a dude. I know Sean Payton likes him, but I don't think he's going to be the main dude. Audric Estime was brought in by this regime. I think he has a potential for a main running back role. But it's the 14th round of a Dynasty startup, so probably not, and I don't care. It's good value. Jordan Mason, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Theo Johnson, Jordan Whittington, amazing value. Roshan Johnson, Keaton Mitchell, Kamani Vidal. And I'm going to try to get another wide receiver here, and it's going to be Malik Washington of the Miami Dolphins. Last year, he showed me enough, so I'm going to take a shot on him. Julian McLaughlin goes next. Chris, your final selection in this draft is Daniel freaking Jones, Danny Dimes, Danny Pennies, as we
No
call
reason,
him
just for
frequently.
fun.
Will Shipley, Andre Yoshivas. Joe, your final selection of the draft.
I'm going to go with Adam Thielen.
Not
Nice.
bad, not bad.
Woohoo!
So we had Zamir White and Zachary Moss. So, Joe, let's run down your team first. Chris, then I will run down my team.
I have Bo Nix as my main quarterback. My running backs are Chuba Hubbard and Travis Etienne. My wide receiver room is Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, and Jordan Addison. Kyle Pitts is the tight end. And then my flex spots, I got Najee and Stephon Diggs. And my super flex spot, I have Kyler Murray.
Nice. All right, Chris.
Yeah, my quarterback duo, I got Baker Mayfield and Jalen Hurts. My wide receiver core, Puka Nakua, DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, and Jaden Reed. Kind of rotated out between one of those two for the third spot. My running back room, I got Brees Hall and Isaiah Pacheco, with the possibility of Aaron Jones kind of slipping in there. My tight end, the only one I drafted was Pat Frymuth, with the kind of like insurance policies. I got Braylon Allen and I Mitchell Douglas, and of course the funny Daniel Jones pick.
All right, my winning roster is Joe Burrow at quarterback, Chase Brown, David Montgomery as my 2 running backs. 3 wide receivers are Drake London, Devontae Smith, and Devontae Adams. Apparently, I like wide receivers with the first initial of D in their first name. George Kittle at tight end, Tony Pollard in the flex spot, Rashid Shaheed in the flex spot, CJ Stroud is my super flex, Matthew Stafford, Ben Sinnott, Jerome Ford, Audric Estime, and Malik Washington are on the bench. I really like my team. I didn't know how it was going to shake out, but I really, really enjoy this team. How do you guys feel about yours?
Okay.
Any picks you guys wish you didn't make?
I wish I didn't pick Baker Mayfield.
Uh,
I wish I had waited one more round. I wish I had gotten Josh Jacobs instead. In a legitimate sense, I think I would have been happier with Josh Jacobs or James Cook. One of those two, but I'm not looking back on it. Like, I think it's nice that I have the duo there, but in terms of like a winning team, it would have been nice to have Josh Jacobs or James Cook there. I'm not thrilled with the wide receiver options I could have had, but that's kind of my thinking.
What about you, Joe?
I reached a little for Bo Nix. I probably should have maybe went with Justin Herbert or Caleb or someone, but that's about it.
I can honestly say I don't think I would make any different picks. I kind of like how my team shook out. So I don't know if there's any guys. I mean, I really did want Juwan Jennings, but it was just having George Kittle. It just didn't make sense for my roster construction. But that is it. That is our Dynasty startup mock draft. We'll do another one once we have rookie landing spots, which will be in 2 weeks. We'll know where they're going. We will know which Dynasty players we have to now freak out, and their stocks will be in the toilet. And we will also see which guys we should not have been worried about this entire time. So I'm excited to find out with you gentlemen. As a reminder, if everyone could like, share, and subscribe, it really, really helps us out. We want to keep doing this as much as possible. We'd like bringing our own advice to you guys. We've been doing fantasy for a while. We have some differing opinions, which is good for you as a listener and the viewer because you can kind of see 2 different sides of a player. And we just want to bring as much help as we can so that way you can go and get those championships. So we're not going anywhere. Once we get past the NFL draft, we will start looking at the futures. We will start doing our rankings for 2025, knowing these landing spots. We'll go over some dynasty values, buys, sells, which guys you should hold, potential busts for this upcoming season. So there's much, much more to come. As a reminder, we have more stuff working behind the scenes. Those announcements will be coming very, very soon. We will take a look at everything and send those out to everybody. All right, that is everything from us here. As always, good luck, have fun. We will catch you on the next show. So long, everybody.
Yeah.